So welcome everybody on this nice summery day. Thank you for taking time out to come in and play with yoga. So we're going to look at a couple things here. One is Ahimsa. And Ahimsa is one of the Yamas. It's the first one of Patanjali's eight-limbed yoga. What? Oh, your puppy. There he is. A special appearance. All right, so Patanjali's eight-limb path to yoga, the Ahimsa is the first yama, and it means non-harming. And the symbol is this hand. I don't know, can you see the hand? If I hold it up to the camera, can you see it? You can't see it. Now you can see it? Okay. This is the hand, which this is the talisman. Now this is a keychain, but I also have it on a necklace, all right? So what happens is the hand turns upside down and it means stop. No, do no harm, ever, all right? So this is one of the first yamas or principles in yoga, in Patanjali's yoga. So that is one thing. With all of the energies we have going on out in the world, we want to keep our minds on loving kindness, which can be really difficult even for really highly spiritual people. The energies are a little crazy. I saw the Schumann resonance, if you know what that is, today. It's basically the Earth's heartbeat, but it's also known as her consciousness, which we are a part of. So when we're all in reaction mode, we affect the Earth. So that is an area where maybe we can send loving kindness. Or one of the recommendations I saw was to bring in light to yourself and then burst it, just a quick burst into the earth, and do that several times, you know, throughout the day. If you want to think of it, maybe while you're gardening, because I think some of you are pretty avid with your gardening. So the other thing that I have is we're going to be doing a pose that's related to this. So this is one of the tarot cards. It's the last card in the deck, which represents when you start with the Fool card and then the Magician, you go through the whole journey, and that's represents the whole consciousness of a person going through their journey, their lessons, their abilities and talents, and experiencing challenges and reacting or responding, however we choose to do that. But this is the World card, and this represents the end of a cycle of lessons. But if you can see this, they call her a hermaphrodite because she's both masculine and feminine. She has magic wands in both hands, and then there's a wreath of flowers around her as she leaps through from the sky where there's all of these stars. So another representation for this card is dancing on your limitations. So it reminds me of when I worked in the office, which could get rather boring, and back when I was there was a lot of ego and power over games in the office, and these were huge offices, so there were a lot of people, but I felt a resistance to that. So my guidance told me to dance on my limitations. Look at where there is joy, look at where there is pleasant energy. How can you change your perception or your viewpoint of what's going on? So I think both of these are appropriate and uh, maybe reminders, because I know you all are loving, kind people, but it's just reminders of these energies can be very challenging even to the highest spiritual evolved person, okay? Because this is the end of a cycle. It's the end of a 26,000 year cycle, and this is where we're getting ready to graduate. So there are those who want to hold us back, and that can make us feel restricted, and that's where we need to just be aware we can dance on our limitations. So for whatever that's worth, I just wanted to cover that. And it's fun to see a pictorial or a tool, a talisman that we can use. So we'll come into center now and just let go of whatever has been happening. Just allow good things in. Reach up through your spine and create sacred space around you. You can create a bubble around you or a pyramid and use that as a protection. You can fill it with color or with white light, whatever feels right for you or would feel good for you. And just as an exercise, whichever you've created, whatever shape you're using, whether it's a sphere or a pyramid with 4 sides, and then another pyramid meeting at the base and pointing downwards, that's very helpful to the emotions. But just take your hands and open your hands and paint the inside of your sphere or your pyramid. Just paint it with good energy, positive vibrations, clearing anything that's inside this sphere or pyramid, clearing it out. Just let it dissipate out and lift your energy up. If you're using a color inside, you can paint with maybe a deeper color. Ruby is always nice, but whatever works for you. Blue is peacefulness, green is healing. And then just take your hands and lift your energy up as you sit in easy pose. Just lift your energy up as though you're clearing away anything that might be stuck on your body or in your energy field. Sometimes when we're out in amongst the masses, we might pick something up. So just use this as a clearing. And bring your palms into prayer hands now and just feel what you notice. You might notice a change, you might not. If you've been outdoors, you may have already cleared your energy, but it's a nice exercise and it hones you in and kind of reels in the brains, sets your intention for good energy around you. And then if you'd like to take your hands into your mudra, your favorite mudra, extend your arms out with your hands in mudra, sealing in those protective energies. And then allow a shaft of brilliant light, golden or silver, your choice, but let it come in through your sphere or pyramid and then in through your head and just fill your body with this light. Bring in more and more and more, as much as you can possibly imagine, filling every cell inside your bones, inside your teeth, your skin, your muscles, your organs, your viscera, your eyes, and then bring your awareness back to the physical and the non-physical. The breath is both spiritual and physical. So bring your awareness to your physical breath here, noticing your pace and pattern. And check in with your muscles. Check your posture once again. Have you let yourself sink down in, or are you still lifting in your spinal column up out of your hips? And we'll attune to breath, just bringing palms into prayer hands, Anjali Mudra, and breathing arms up overhead. A nice full breath. Opening out, reach open, exhale down. Creating even more space in the sacred. Appreciating your ability to breathe, your ability to move, and have your being in spirit, the divine. And one more breath. Circling around. Open, exhale down. All right. So let's come up into standing and start to warm up from a standing position. Just shake out your knees and separate your feet. We'll come into a standing twist, circling arms around. And then coming back. All right. Just breathe palms into prayer hands. Exhale and scoop it out and up. You can separate your hands up here if you want. Engage hips and into a standing back bend. Lift your ribs and come forward, or take your arms out to the side, either way, and come into a swan dive. Bend your knees to soften and just let your hamstrings adjust to a stretch as you bend and straighten your knees. And then take your arms back out to the side. Inhale, lift your crown, breathe, and go to the back once again. Open arms, swan dive forward. Exhale down. And then bend your knees, preparing for chair pose. Toes forward, nice bent knees, and take your arms out to the side. Lift your torso and bring arms up next to your ears and reach. Very good. Good job. Open the shoulders. As a matter of fact, just bend your elbows and open, taking your elbows back. Bring them in. Open. Inhale as you go out. Exhale as you come in. Press together. One last time. Open. Open the shoulders and the chest, your heart center. And last time, squeeze it in. All right. And then just take arms up overhead. Reach. Push the floor away. And let your arms come down. And just lift your left foot and circle around in your ankle. Reverse. And then press your heel forward. You want your ankle over the first two toes. You can also take this foot over and cross it over, and then bend your right knee and press that shin down to stretch the top of your foot. You might get a little extra stretch that way. And then come out and other side, circle, reverse. Press the heel forward, keep your ankle aligned over your toes. And again, if you want to, take that foot over and bend the supporting leg. Just press down and get a nice stretch in your ankle, the top of your foot. Good job. And then just loosen up. Little march in space, in place. All right. Chair pose. Separate your feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower down. Bring your arms around behind you, interlace fingers, and open the chest. Lift your arms up. Open your throat as you lift your chin, squeezing any tension out that may have accumulated. And release. Arms up overhead. Knees are still bent. Feel your thighs. Turn your palms up and reach, using your palms as a little altar for some more of that light energy coming in. And then turn your palms towards your head. Let that light drip down into your body. And lower arms down. Bring palms in for prayer twist. So you'll want to lower down a little bit further. Turn towards your left. And press against your leg into your prayer twist. Come into center, inhale. Exhale to the other side. Come back to center. Push the floor away. Bring your arms up overhead. Feel the energy in your thighs. Exhale, arms down. Good. All right, circle around in your shoulders now. And reverse. Okay. Just bending in elbows. We'll be doing some planks, so we want to make sure our arms are lubricated. Come into circles in your wrists. It looks funny on the camera, doesn't it? Reverse. Bring arms up overhead. Inhale. A stretch to the back. Oh, it feels so good to stretch your diaphragm muscle, right? Exhale. Keep your arms in front. Lower down. And walk your hands forward. Step your feet back into the front plank. Nice and long. Now, bring in your right knee and see if you can fit knee to nose. Curl in. Press through your left heel. And take your leg back and stretch it up into three-legged dog. Press down in your left heel as much as you're able. And bring that leg down. Come back into plank. Breathe. Taking a breath. Exhale, bring your left knee in towards your nose. Take the leg back into three-legged dog. Reach it up, stretch tall. Press down in your right heel. And bring it down into a full downward facing dog. Stretch out your shoulders. All right, take your hips side to side. And then bend your left knee. Bring your foot through for sun pose. Lift into your sun pose. Lift your chin and bring your left hand inside that left foot. Pivot, bringing your right heel down into a half squat. Flex the foot on your right. And then come back around into your sun pose. And step your left leg back. Come into your down dog. And then step your right leg forward. Stretch out into your sun pose. Lift your chin, honoring the sun, appreciating its light today. And then bring your right hand inside that foot. Pivot, bringing your left heel down. Stretch it out. You can press that right leg open with your right arm. And pivot back into your sun pose. Good. Now, working with our hips a little bit more, come onto the back knee. So it'll be your left knee. Bring your right leg around to the front and cross it over. Separate your feet behind you and just let yourself come down sitting in hero pose. So we place one hand on each sole of the foot and let your hips open and relax. Just make sure you bring your left foot forward enough so you have room for both sitting bones on the floor. From here, now this part is optional, but I encourage you to utilize the opportunity to stretch. Reach up in your crown as you press down in your hips. Breathe. Exhale, and keeping a straight spine, lead with your chest. Exhale, forward, over both legs. Bring your chin down. Breathe. If you feel discomfort, you have a couple of choices. You can ease up in the pose, or you can use your pranayama. Breathe energy, that prana, breathe it into the area where you feel the sensation and relax it. Now press down in your legs and hips and lift the crown of your head. Breathe. So this is hero pose. Now we can change this just a little bit into another pose. It's called cow face pose, Gomukhasana. So the way we do that is we bring our palms around, and I'll turn so you can see, or anybody who watches the recording will be able to see. We bring our hands into like a reverse namaste. So bringing palms together behind your back, opening the chest and shoulders. Just bring them wherever they'll come. If only your fingertips touch, or if they don't touch at all, that's fine. You're in an open position, so just allow that. Take in your breath. We're going to lean forward, and you choose how far forward you go. Take in your breath. Exhale, leaning down. Now you're going to feel this in your wrists, most likely. So just be aware and be cautious. And then lift back up and release your arms. We have a Chisai Tamadachi. Chisai Tamadachi is a little friend in Japanese. This is a little ant. So we welcome Ant here for a few minutes. So unwind your legs. If you like, you can shake them out a little bit, roll on your hips, and then swing your legs around. If your wrists need a stretch, just stretch your knuckles down to the floor and press forward. And then we're going to come back into downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down onto the floor. So now we're going to bring the other leg over. So you bring your right leg over top and come down. No, it'll be your left leg over top. There we go. Sometimes in doing these on both sides, sometimes the first side teaches the second side how the pose feels. And sometimes it's hard for me because it's like, it feels like we did it on both sides, but we didn't. So we're going to here, both sitting bones press into the ground, palms on the soles of your feet, creating a full circuit. So your right hand's on left foot, left hand's on right foot, connecting. Breathe through your crown, lift, and exhale, bringing the sternum forward, nice straight spine, coming down. And then breathe your way back up to center. And we'll repeat cow face pose, just bringing palms around behind you. And just see if this side is easier or not. Maybe you can lift higher after coming into this the first time. And then optional, leaning forward. Press down in your hips, lift in your crown, inhale. Exhale into the stretch, cow face pose. And then coming back to center, release your hands and circle around in your wrists. Both directions. So Ahimsa, the non-harming, generally is thought of as not harming others. But in yoga, we want to refrain from harming ourselves. So if we're in a pose and it's causing pain, we want to decide what we're going to do about it, whether we come out of the pose a little bit or breathe more deeply into it, just so that you're not harming yourself or causing yourself injury. That's where your awareness comes in. Okay, so releasing legs out in front of you, stretch them out, shake out your hips, roll them out. Ankles. Okay, so let's come into a forward bend here. Paschimottanasana. So straight legs, press the back of your legs into the mat, and lift up. You want your hip bones pointing forward, your navel points forward. Think of a big diamond you have in your navel and it's shining forward. Breathe, arms overhead. Exhale, straight spine, hinge in your hips. Inhale, reach up. Lower your arms down, palms behind you, and just open the chest. Lift up out of your hips. Take your head back. And then come forward once again. All right. So a little more for the hips. Coming up into a squat. Just taking one leg out and then the other, the knee pressing back. And then coming down in center into Malasana or garland pose. Pressing palms together, elbows into your knees. Lift in your spinal column. Reach. And then reach your hands forward. Lift your hips up. Bring your feet in. Come in head to knee. See how it feels from here. It's like Paschimottanasana, only you're standing on your both feet. And then bring arms up overhead. Inhale, lift. Good. And just come to the front end of your mat. Reach up, taking a breath. Soften your knees. Take your left leg back into warrior one. Feet are parallel here. Reach up. And open into warrior two. Bring your arms down behind you, interlace fingers. Turn your torso, legs and hips remain. Just turn your torso towards that open thigh, your right knee, and come into humble warrior. Lift your arms up. Press down in your feet, lift your crown, lift your hands up. Use the strength of your legs. Bring arms back out. Triangle. Straighten the front leg if you need to separate your feet or realign somehow. Just realign. Take in your breath. As you exhale, press down in the front hip, hinging forward, lengthening out over that front leg. Shoulders and hips in line. And then switch your arms, look up into your palm. And reach fingertips up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale back into warrior two. Bring the back foot in just a little bit. Turn palms up and pivot back into warrior one. Pull back, inhale, step it in. palms together. Great. Breathe arms up overhead. Inhale deep. Exhale, soften your knees. Reach your left leg back. Warrior one. Reach up. And pivot into warrior two. Just check your alignment. Open that front knee. And bring your arms down. Interlace fingers for humble warrior. Stretch your arms out. Hips remain pointing forward. Just turn your torso and exhale down over your leg, just in front of the bent knee. Inhale and lift up. Lift your crown, lift your hands back to warrior two. And straighten the front knee, preparing for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take in your breath. Exhale, press down in the front hip. Reach. Shoulders and hips are aligned, facing forward. And then switch your arms, leaving your body safe in place. Look up into your palm. And reach fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, back out into warrior two. You might want to bring the back foot in just a little bit. Open the knee, turn palms up, and pivot into warrior one. And pull back, step it in, palms together. Pause for a moment and just check in with yourself. Your thoughts, any little emotions that come up, your breath, sensations in your body. Become the witness and observe from a higher perspective. And then softly open your eyes and release your arms. Just come to the center of your mat. Okay. Bring your right arm up next to your ear. Take in a breath. Exhale, shift the weight onto your right foot. Spot, focus on a spot, and lift the left leg up into dancer's pose. The top hand faces forward so that your right hand, and lift up, lift. Natarajasana. Dancing on your limitations. Bring the leg back down. Bring palms in. Non-harming, no judgment of yourself or others. All right. And then breathe your left arm up right next to your ear. Press back in your shoulder. That's part of the fulcrum you're creating. Palm faces forward. Take in your breath. Find your spot to focus on. Exhale, shift the weight to your left foot. Bring your right leg up. Keep pressing back in the shoulder. Press your foot into your hand and lift. Keep lifting shoulders. And release. Bring palms in. Beautiful. And separate feet Come into your standing twist, loosen it all up. Come down onto your mat. Whoops. Just come into sitting for a moment. Feel your breath. And then just roll down onto your back and stretch your legs out, preparing for Shavasana. You always want your Shavasana at the end. That's where transformation happens, where you release tension and stress and deepen your connection to Source and your higher self. All good things. Allow your body to sink down into the ground, cradled by Earth Mother. Relaxing. Relax. I'll chant Om for you for a few rounds. Go deeper. And just start to become aware of the room, the sounds around you, your body, the floor underneath you. the air currents. And start to bring some little gentle moves into your body. Remembering Ahimsa, doing no harm. So coming back slowly, you're being considerate of your psyche and your nervous system. Eventually sliding feet together. And lift your knees up for a little stretch. Knees to chest. Eventually come to one side, up into sitting. Bring your hands into your favorite mudra for today. And remembering our thoughts early on about Ahimsa, the symbol, and the world card dancing on our limitations as we come to the end of a major cycle, a successful completion. So bringing palms into prayer hands. I'll just chant Om a couple times. If you want to join me, you're welcome to, if you're comfortable with that. Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace. Oh, yes, peace, peace. May you be filled with it. May you send it all over the world. Namaste, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I love you, I love you, I love you.